Welcome to this Smash Ultimate modding guide. Smash modding has never been this easy. It is a software that is currently going into its best phase ever. It makes modding on normal Switch, as well as emulators, which I'm gonna cover today, are just gonna be way easier to mod. I do believe that FightPlanner, the program, the software that I'm gonna show off today, does do the recommended method, the video that has been sadly taken down from Team Red. So I will need to censor some things. I hope that is fine with everyone here. So I'm gonna go through everything. I'm gonna show Ryubing, I'm gonna show Eden, I'm gonna show those as examples because FightPlanner, generally speaking, supports theoretically any Yuzu or Ryujinx-Based emulator. And these two would be my recommendations, which I'm gonna as well link where you can find the downloads for any kind of device in that direction, as you can see here, or this one, where you as well can see how you can get Ryubing Canary, which is the one that I would personally recommend. You can of course go for any other emulator in that direction, it should probably still work. And I do recommend having a 100% save file ready as well, which I will also provide a link down below. Otherwise, some mods might struggle to show or work. I've experienced it all at this point. And on an unrelated note, we also have this GitHub here. I'm not linking this. I'm just oh wait, oh no, I should not show that. Anyways, I hope you of course have your legally acquired copy of Smash Ultimate with the newest version, 13.04, currently in the making of this video. I don't think they will update it anymore. And I will show you how to set it up with it. If you have a lower version, you will need an older version of ARCropolis, and FightPlanner, at least as far as I know, does not support that currently, but is probably planning on adding that support in the future. Don't take my word on that, I am just assuming here. Okay, first step, we will want to install the FightPlanner app. I currently have a copy that is separated from the main copies. I am gonna, however, use my own path, which I already prepared. And after a bit, the download should be done. You should be able to run FightPlanner as shown here, getting rid of the installer in the meanwhile. And as you can see, we are getting this cute little intro and some animations which show us everything that you would probably want to know. You can see already the features that it provides. You can skip the tutorial. In this case, I'm quickly clicking through, so you can of course see here as well. We are using Emulator in this case, but like I said, if you have a real modded Switch that you want to throw mods on, want to have an easier time doing that, then feel free to use FightPlanner as well. And as you can see here, we can say, no, I don't have ARCropolis installed. And we can say what kind of emulator we are using. In this case, I'm going to start with Eden. So we are going to select Yuzu. And here it prompts us to select the Yuzu path, in this case, our Eden path. And once I have my Eden path selected, that can be wherever for you. I personally have it on the desktop because it's more convenient for the tutorial. You can have it on a separate drive, you can have it on somewhere deep in your Windows files, that does not matter too much. As you can see, the ARCropolis install happens automatically. It tells you what to look for to see if it worked or not. And in this case, what we already want to do here is just open Eden. One nice thing about Eden, once you have the directory shown there where you have your Super Smash Bros. Ultimate install, it will automatically also detect the DLC file if it is in the same folder, as shown in here. Now, the first thing I recommend is opening Yuzu, or in this case Eden, the emulator of your choice, opening save data location, and making sure to overwrite the save data with the fully played through one to make sure every mod will be working fine. And the first thing you want to do here is press on File, open Eden folder, root data folder. So we want to bring FightPlanner to this directory. As we can see, this would be on my username AppData roaming Eden. In this case, that would be by select user folder, pressing on Windows, scrolling down to users, clicking on your username, and then you should see a folder called AppData. If you cannot see hidden folders like this AppData folder, then go to any file explorer that is open, press on View, then on the bottom to Show, and then Hidden Items needs to have a check mark here. Once you have done that, you should be able to see AppData. Then you go into Roaming, and then scroll down to Eden in this case, and this is the folder that FightPlanner wants to find. Select the folder, and then go Next. It will do the SDMC install for you, in this case ARCropolis plus Skyline. And here tells you what to look for. In this case, as you can see in the top right corner, we are looking for Smash version and Acropolis version. Important that Acropolis version needs to be there. So in this case, we are booting up Smash. And be aware, even if you booted up Smash before on your emulator, it will take longer on the first launch with SDMC. If it's loading indefinitely, then something is wrong, and you will have to do one of the troubleshooting steps. And as we can see on the top right, it already says Acropolis version 4.0.8. It will probably say a different version for you. Now we tell FightPlanner, yes, it's working. And next. Here it already tells us, yeah, this will be your mods path. It should automatically detect it because it did the SDMC install for you. In this case, we can just skip through here. You can still read everything here. Make sure to understand the software you are using. The tutorial is very helpful. As we can see, we are getting the guide of FightPlanner itself here. In this case, I am skipping that. I'm enabling open marketplace for ability to just get hooks and similar. Now the next step you want to do is search for a mod that you want to install on Game Banana. The link is down below as well, so you have it easy and quick. In this case, I am going for a skins mod just to double check that everything is working, and I will take a simple one, for example Togepi over Jigglypuff. You go down below and you can just press FightPlanner one-click install. As you can see, these seem to be basically the same file, just that there's a difference. In this case, I will install both to explain what is going on. And as you can see, FightPlanner downloads and also manages everything for you. As you can see, I downloaded 2 of the same one, and that was intentional to display this. We are seeing this file is called CO1 and COO. And this basically means this does slot 1, 00 is slot 1, and slot 2, in this case 01, it counts up to 07, which would be corresponding to 8. A thing you should know beforehand because that is how computer counting works. So this one has 2 variants and this one has 1 variance. As we can see, FightPlanner is telling us, hey, we are having a problem here. These 2 are conflicting. And if I press resolve now, as we can see, nice little FightPlanner already has things for you. We can press change slots automatically. We can just choose the mod that should not be changed. In this case, we are selecting this one. So Togepi over Jigglypuff slot 1 gets changed. And you can enable the allow C16 plus slots, which will make it so you can have more than the default slots. And now if we refresh the page, we will already see now this one got put onto slot 2, which is how we can resolve those kind of issues. It was very easy, it was very natural to me. FightPlanner makes everything simple to the user. I still want you to understand what you're doing when using these mods, which is why I'm explaining this. One thing you can already see is the save file that we are using comes with some rule sets already applied. You can still make your own. I'm just going to use the competitive rule set. And as we can see, Jigglypuff has the Togepi texture applied. And if we go to the color selection, as we can see, as we wanted it to, the problem with the colors got resolved despite us having the issues in the first place. FightPlanner detects these kind of issues for you and makes sure they are not happening again. And even in game, we can see that the textures are perfectly working fine. The skin mod is applied. You will maybe have lags if you're first playing with the skin mod, because cages will need to be built for every skin. But once every move has been done once, you will be able to just play it smoothly out. So there should be no worries about stuff like that. And now to show a more complex mod, in this case I'm going for the Goomba with moveset and mods. We see we have multiple requirements. We see we can still just use the FightPlanners one-click install. And once we refresh this character list, we see that Pichu is the base character we are using for this movement mod. And if we go under movesets, we can even see that it is specifically this one. So the simplifying everything for us here. One thing you still will have to manually do is add the plugins, or in other words, the dependencies. So if we go back to the Game Banana page, we see all the plugins that would be needed here. We have Acropolis and Skyline already, so we can ignore those. So from NRO hook to the CSK collection, we will be needing to download. And FightPlanner even simplifies this. You click on Marketplace, and as we can see already, NRO hook is here. The CSK collection is here. It asks us for which version. In this case, we will just select the newest and press install and get a one slot effect installed as well. So the ones we are missing is param-config, Smashline 2, and that's it. So we are gonna download them separately by clicking here. As we see, lib smashline plugin, we download it here, as well as lib param-config, just simply download it here. In this case, I downloaded both to my desktop. So if you press add and select the file you want to add. Alternatively, you can press open folder and just drag and drop the plugins that you want in here. Now with all the plugins that we need installed and the mod installed, we will start Eden again. And in the character select screen, you usually find custom characters between the Mii Brawler and Incineroar. In this case, we can just see Goomba here normally. We can see custom skins just work fine on him. And the completely custom moveset is working perfectly fine, as we can see. And I'm gonna show the same thing with the Ryujinx install again. We select Emulator, say we don't have ARCropolis installed. We say Ryujinx here. And as we can see, it already finds our path in this case. We go next, next. And as you can see here, it tells you the same thing again. We are checking for this ARCropolis version on the top right. So if we start Smash Ultimate through Ryujinx, or in this case Ryubing, and again, similar to Eden, this first start will always take a bit longer than the second one. And as we can see, Smash version and ARCropolis version are here. As well as here, if you wanna install the save file, you just press open user save directory. And here we have the same thing as before. Open our zip file, with the save data in here, replace, and done. And then we press yes, it's working, next. As we can see, it selects the mod path for us. It explains some things again. Also, you can have the one-click installer. You can skip the guide if you have already read it, but I recommend going through with it. Now I will use the Goomba mod again as an example for the installation. In this case, you can just go down here, press one-click install. FightPlanner will pick it up and has successfully installed the Moveset mod for you. What it will not install for you is the plugins. In this case, Skyline and ARCropolis is what we have set up beforehand already. So what we need is an arrow hook to the CSK collection. And if you look under FightPlanner, we see we have a marketplace. In this case, it says reinstall, because I did it before for Eden. We can download all the CSK collection, an arrow hook, and one slot effect directly from FightPlanner. Smashline 2 and param-config in this case are not in the marketplace, so you will have to separately open them and download them from their own GitHub. Or if it is like the CSK collection on Game Banana itself, you will still have the option to use the FightPlanner one-click install. Now you have two ways to install the from GitHub downloaded NRO files. Either by pressing add, going to the place where you download the files, and editing them that way, or by pressing open folder and just drag and dropping them. That's it. Now in Ryubing itself, I open Smash Ultimate again, and as we can see, the Goomba mod is in between Mii Brawler and Incineroar. Working perfectly fine, with skin variants. As we can see here, once the shaders are all pre-caged, the game runs smoothly. So don't worry about it too much. Just fight a bit and it should all go into place. And there's one last piece of advice that I can recommend to use, because I personally use it not only for Smash Ultimate, but also for some other games that you can play locally together. There's Parsec as an option. It is a software that is meant to give you abilities to play games together through remote play. It is very secure, it will automatically lock you out. It is sometimes a frustration how much it locks you out, but it will give you pretty darn good results for playing together. And it is one of the best softwares out there for it. Even sometimes better than Steam remote play, I will not lie. Oh yeah, one last thing. I still on my channel have the video how to mod Smash Ultimate in Yuzu, no Ultimate Mod Manager, alternative method. The original, the recommended method, got taken down. I am not gonna re-upload that one because FightPlanner exists, but if you wanna avoid using FightPlanner, I'm gonna leave the alternative method up. It's gonna be a lot more complicated. It's gonna take a lot longer to install mods, to get them configured, to see if there's any issues with them, because you will have to understand the mods itself way deeper than you do with FightPlanner. I highly recommend going with FightPlanner. It makes it easy, it makes it convenient, and it is safe to use. I am not getting sponsored or anything here. I am getting mentioned in the contributors tab of FightPlanner. That is all. And that is just because I helped them before this tutorial once. But I am doing this because I genuinely believe in the project. I do think it will make my life easier as a tutorial maker. It will make your life easier as a consumer. And it will probably also make the lives easier of future modding scene of Smash Ultimate. So please give the software your own try. Get your own opinion on it if you still are kind of doubting it. And I wish everyone a good day. Bye bye.